This is a Clouds weather alert.
Meteorologist Casey Cloud live with you here in the Weather Center on this Saturday morning. We have a tornado warning now in effect for parts of Coffee County and the area until 8 o'clock here. It looks like about 7:28 a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It was located near Pridgeon or near Ambrose, moving east at 35 miles an hour. So need to get folks into shelters. That red box in the northern part of the viewing area right now. So go ahead and take your tornado precautions right now. Coffee County. This warning also includes some of Jeff Davis County, but that's just that side of the area. That's that side of the 62 counties. But we'll go ahead and show you another view here of where Coffee County is. Let me go ahead and go over to our covered map right now. You can see Coffee there, some of the Atkinson and Northwest really of where to some degree on the map with the names. So again, a tornado warning right now. So we got to stick with this. And we've had some thunderstorm warnings, flash flood warnings. Haven't seen enough with those to really stay on and posting about them, of course. But this is a tornado warning, so we have to be on right now. A possible tornado here moving through parts of South Georgia here. To be precise, it'll be southeastern Georgia. And we're seeing here areas like Broxton and Pridgeon there impacted potentially here about right now. West Green in about 10 minutes. So again, a tornado warning in southeastern Georgia. You need to take your tornado precautions right now. Get inside a sturdy building. Get as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And maybe even you might need to put that bicycle helmet on, a football helmet on, something like that here. With this tornado warning in effect until about 8 o'clock, the top of the hour. I know we haven't really seen many reports of areas that I've seen so far. Some flash flooding here and there, for sure, but the tornadic activity that has been so far staying outside of area. We had a tornado, maybe a significant tornado in southeast Alabama, but that did not get its way into our area here. Now this area of rotation was moving just outside really the Tallahassee jurisdiction, moving toward and into Ward, Coffee County, and that's why we are on the air right now because there's a tornado warning. Tallahassee didn't have a warning on this, but Jacksonville issued a thunderstorm warning. I was getting ready to, and really in the middle of posting that when this tornado warning got issued, so we had to jump right on the air here to protect you, your friends, and your family. Again, a tornado warning for parts of Coffee County until 8 o'clock this morning. So let me go ahead and check our storm relative velocity. That looks fairly tight. It may have been a little bit, yeah, a little bit tighter further back toward the west, but this is right near US 441. Let's check for debris in here. I don't see anything that stands out right now, so that's good. But we're up at 3,000-4,000 feet, so that have to be at least a, maybe like EF1 type tornado, an EF0 tornado. Well, you might not see the debris go up high enough. I know that's not exactly maybe the correlation in terms of how it'll work. But my point is, if it's a really weak tornado, you might not see it like earlier. You would see one there by that radar there in southeast Alabama, even if it was a weak tornado, because that storm was so close toward the radar. But it sent the debris as you went through different layers, way high up. So that indicated a stronger tornado anyway. But again, right now that looks kind of linear on reflectivity, but I see why they said tornado warning. I was watching it here, and we had that spin start to develop, and this setup is tricky because it's so warm. I mean, we're over 70 degrees where we're at here east of Stark. You have the heat, you have some shear, and it's just a matter, there's kind of some different things in play where you have a little bit more of those, and if you can get just enough, then you could have a problem on your hand here this morning, and we may get that here in Coffee County. There's also a thunderstorm warning for a broader area. Let's go ahead and go over that right now here. That's for Coffee as well, and then parts of Bacon and Jeff Davis out of the area. That's till 8:15 a.m. Douglas, Hazelhurst there, Broxton, Ambrose, Nichols, Pridgeon, West Green, Snipesville, and Denton under this. And then let's go ahead and jump on over right now as we continue to watch the situation. I want to see some of the other alerts that are in play. I see the continuing tornado warning, possible tornado Broxton, moving east at 40 miles an hour. But we have other warnings in place, some flash flood warnings. We've had a lot of those I've had to post here this morning across our areas. We've seen a lot of precipitation. Look around Albany, 3-4 inches. It looks like on radar estimates here. At least it was tonight. So in the overnight, way into the night. I mean, it's dark and that can make things dangerous, but really wouldn't expect a whole bunch of people to be out on the roads at that time of night on Saturday morning. I mean, just it's to be pretty quiet there overall. Even if few folks that were out, maybe they do get stuck or did get stuck. It wouldn't have been as prevalent maybe because of so few people being out on the roads. But severe thunderstorm warning toward the south and the west here. This is continuing till about 7:45 for parts of Decatur within our area, Grady and Mitchell and Seminole. I know Jackson's also under this, but at 7:30, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from 6 miles east of Doran to 6 miles southwest of Pelham to West Bainbridge, moving east at 55 miles an hour. Newton, Bainbridge, Donaldsonville, as well as Pelham, Mariana, Camilla, West Bainbridge, Chattahoochee, Malone, Sneads, Cottondale, Grand Ridge, Greenwood, Shale City, Iron City, as well as Brinson, Bascom, Recovery, Lovedale, and also Harold still under this as well. Let's check velocity from a different mode. I didn't see enough to come on for earlier. I was watching to see if we had some tighter circulation or some really maybe a heavier reflectivity slash velocity values here, and didn't really see that. But we'll keep watching some gusty winds around Bainbridge. Definitely could still get some damage. You see some stuff southeast of Pelham, but right now I'm not really sure if they would reissue that warning. Different angles say different things, though, so keep that in mind. We still get a reissuance, but our focus is this tornado warning. That's the reason we're in the air right now. A tornado warning till 8 o'clock here for parts of Coffee County. At 7:38, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Broxton, moving east about 40 miles an hour. So we're talking about West Green around 7:45, potentially impacted here this morning. So let's go ahead and pull up those tornado safety tips here, I think. That way you guys kind of know here. I mean, you kind of know what's going on. I know the tornado watch is in play, tornado warning. We're talking about a radar indicated circulation. We want to seek such a at 30 building, get as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and protect yourself from flying by putting on a bicycle helmet, football helmet, baseball helmet, something along those lines. I know I keep seeing Tallahassee see some advisories on some of this stuff too, and kind of agree because some of this stuff doesn't seem like it's really getting down to the surface based on the initial reports. I checked power outage numbers out, so give me a second. But I see these advisories versus warnings in some of these areas, and that kind of tells that story. For tornado watch, they gone ahead and replaced the one earlier that we were on with earlier in the night with this bigger one here for our area, the Big Bend, South, Central, Southwest, and Southeast Georgia, pretty much until 2 o'clock. So again, that's kind of the storyline there. 2 o'clock this afternoon. Could even get another one after that. Maybe we'll get lucky though. And the threat will be decreasing some then, but it will be heating up. So maybe we get more severe thunderstorms still. A possibility. I know in Florida right now, 2,354 customers in the dark according to PowerOutage.us, but most of those are down in South Florida, unrelated to weather, I would think. Okeechobee County, I don't really see many in Florida right now. On the Panhandle, I really don't see many. 50 in Washington County, 168 in Okaloosa County, but really nothing to write home about there so far. Georgia here, we've had a fair number of warnings of a thunderstorm and flash flood. And this is the second tornado warning to be officially covering parts of our area. And you do have 495 customers out of power in Mitchell County, Turner County 195, Calhoun County 70. So hit and miss there, more miss really, not too bad. Quite honestly, there as we're looking at things, as we're monitoring the situation. I know. Let's see here. Getting some reports of flood in Alabama, but you see Alabama, Southeast Alabama's really gotten passed by this line. See the wind direction shifted too, so that's good news for the rest of their day there. We got a whole day to watch this here across our viewing area. They did have some flooding, flash flooding around Smyrna in Houston County, Alabama. I see an advisory being issued for parts of Decatur and Seminole until about 8:30. And some of this stuff is having trouble getting down to the surface. Of course, a tornado did get down to the surface in Alabama, so we got to be real careful because that was able to get thrown. It seemed pretty quick, but A lot of this stuff, I know, even going back into Mississippi, it didn't quite set up right, but we did have it set up very wrong. We're right, technically, in a way, here in meteorology. Out of Southeast Alabama, in the middle of the night, around the community of Echo, there was some significant damage, it would seem. So, haven't really seen the full details. I saw some very quick, looks really at that damage there with visuals, but that debris signature tells the story there earlier on. Everything came together for a moment. That's what we got to watch for here with our area and with this tornado warning in Coffee County right now. That rotation actually looks like it's trying to get more towards Jeff Davis County, though, which would be good news because that'd be just outside of the viewing area here. But you can see how it was a little bit tighter. It's gotten weaker. It's kind of right on that line now between Coffee and Jeff Davis. So we have to stick with this, of course. As we're trying to protect you, your friends, and your family. But again, a tornado warning for Coffee County. See a little bit of a curvature there, but not overwhelming. Goes into 8 o'clock though officially. Let's go to the Jacksonville site. Yeah, that shows it maybe more up in toward Jeff Davis County. That's how it is with these angles. They can be deceiving until they officially drop that warning for Coffee County. Then we're going to stick with this because it's all about protecting you, your friends, and your family. So I'm going to go ahead and keep on looking here. Yeah, that other radar shows the same thing, but we're looking kind of high up. That's over 6,000 feet. The higher up you go, the less you get on a lot of these views. And something new with the mobile radar, they actually been able to get down a little bit lower now, but 10,000 feet on the Jackson radar. Moody would be the closest, and it's only about 4,000 feet, but it also shows the spin maybe right in here. Let me see the direction, the actual direction on this. So maybe something like it just does go into Jeff Davis County, but so that'd be a threat that would not be really impacting our area anymore, because then that would it would definitely stay in either Bacon or Applin. I was gonna say maybe just getting an Applin, but Bacon and Applin both outside the area. So again, I know some of the folks there in meteorology like to call Coffee and Bacon the breakfast counties here, and it is breakfast time here on this Saturday morning. I'm not too concerned right now. That's why we're able to kind of halfway joke a little bit. We got to still take shelter, and we still can get something to pop up real quick. You never know with the radar coverage being not perfect out here, but it's in anything like what we saw in the middle of the night there towards southeast Alabama, where we had just, it was like a meteorology textbook coming together very rapidly there for that community of Echo, that area around Echo, Alabama. But again, we're just gonna continue to watch here. You can't lay your guard down, don't get me wrong. See some winds here, 60 miles an hour possible if there's not a tornado. Right now, I'm not really seeing the spin there that tight, but I do see some winds about 6 feet just into Jeff Davis County. But again, we'll keep watching everything. I'll check rotation tracker. Bear with me here as we kind of monitor the situation. Again, a tornado warning, a red box here does include part of Coffee County, but also the threat of know with the internet folks will be watching outside of our area, obviously, and we're on for really big threats outside the area as well. But I mean, Jeff Davis County, you could be watching there where the threats coming toward you guys here, if not right now, very soon. So again, I just take your turn precautions here. Let's go ahead and zoom back out. Again, you see the line here of storms. And you can kind of see how we have the wind shift there. I know as you get up toward areas like Albany, I mean, they're in some just lighter rain now, so that did bode well for them for the rest of the day. The tornado watch to get dropped there soon. We'll just have to continue to track things. I know. Just continuing to watch. You know, there's been a lot of flash flood warnings that have been in play. I mean, you see half a foot of rain around Blakely here. A lot of this was in the night. I mean, that makes it more dangerous in a way, as you're talking about maybe being so dark out there, but less dangerous in another way. Because, I mean, you're talking about a situation here where there's not going to be too many folks that need to get out and about, just as long as the water didn't get into homes, which it could have in a few instances here. But wasn't like just like catastrophic flash flooding or anything like that. We don't think here. at this point. So, again, continuing to watch. Let me go ahead and go through some more information as we're trying to stick with you guys with the tornado warning. Just trying to get through everything here in our system. It's all about protecting you, your friends, and your family. I haven't had too much law enforcement coverage. Haven't needed too much law enforcement coverage here since that day in February there. We had that hail around. That's been over a month ago now. So we've had a few warnings here and there, but not tornado warnings really in a while here. I know. Just looking through our different alerts, I do see the Chris Dooley and Wilcox warning for Cordell is a considerable flash flooding, one a particularly dangerous type situation for those folks. But that's outside of our area. Tallahassee hadn't issued any like that. That was Peachtree City issuing that one for Crispus was Dooley and Wilcox there, Cordell area. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. I know there is a mesoscale discussed in here. Let me read over it real quick. So the risk of brief tornadoes, well, that continues, and this is from earlier before they issued the new one. So they did go ahead and issue a new tornado watch, as you can tell, until about, it looks like 2 o'clock this afternoon. So it's kind of what we're dealing with right now. Let me go ahead and keep checking here what else we might have. You know, the power outage numbers weren't really impressive. Let me check Alabama, since they did have that apparent tornado over there. See what we're dealing with in that region. Yeah, so Dale County, about 1,540 customers out there. Geneva County, 793. Houston County, 692. So it kind of tells the story a little bit more over that way, it would seem. So right now we have flash flood warnings. None of those in our area are considerable. They're base flash flood warnings. There's been a lot of them. I know sometimes I just go ahead and issue those instead of flood warnings. The Tallahassee office will, which those don't come up on here and they don't get sent out with a radio. But they're kind of interchangeable on the lower levels. Of course, considerable flash flood warning, something different. But that's what they had up to our core deal. But I know Smith thunderstorm warning continues to 8:15. For parts of Bacon and Jeff Davis outside of the area, but Coffee County in the area. So just got to keep tracking things here, keep monitoring the situation. I know that's something there. We're gonna have 60-mile-an-hour wind gust, so keep that in mind. I know it definitely looks like that circulation is moving more out of the area now into where Jeff Davis County. That spin, it looks like it's more in here now. We'll just have to see what the weather service in Jacksonville wants to do. There's only 8 minutes left of the tornado warning. They made us hold it and then set it to expire at 8 o'clock here this morning. And this action here, southwest to south central Georgia, I mean, it's strong. We have advisories, but it seems like it's having trouble getting severe down to the surface for the most part here this morning. So again, we'll continue to watch. Our logo's red. We're in alert mode again to protect you, your friends, your family. Let me go ahead and get back into Coffee County here. So yeah, you can kind of see that weak rotation. I mean, that's where it'd be, but it's not very tight right now. So again, that's something that we're watching here. Something we're giving you guys the latest updates on. Let me kind of go through all this here a little bit more. A little bit more here. Just checking all of our different sources to protect you guys out there. Protect you, your friends, and your families. So just kind of get through all this here right now. And this is part of a big viewing area here right now. If you're like around Stark, you're okay. I mean, at Bradford County Fair, I mean, could be good for a while. But eventually could have some issues here, but it is a Saturday of it, so at least right now it looks pretty good. I mean, I know they're not doing it right this minute, but you kind of get the idea here. I'll check some information on that. I know that's one of the bigger events of the year here in Bradford County, so whether it could play a role this evening, but right now we're okay. I mean, it could be a pretty nice day with these type of temperatures. Gonna feel kind of like almost like summer, which is crazy. But we're just gonna go ahead and keep looking here at the very latest. This is Saturday. I know 12 o'clock buildings open there, just the exhibitors, and then 2 o'clock the gates and the midway open. So, I mean, honestly, it might be a day where they could open it a little earlier because it's gonna get kind of nasty later on. But tomorrow, 1 o'clock, it's gonna open after that time change, and well, this should be pretty good. A little cool, really, tomorrow, but as long as it's not too wet out there, that's what I'd be worried about. I don't think it will be. We're not going to see the type of rain they're seeing in the north, but we'll make sure that doesn't happen, of course, as we watch the Doppler technology and the different trends. So again, I'm just going to continue to track this here in the Weather Center. Let's see here. You can kind of see what we're talking about, Jeff Davis County. And that's that side of the area, but Coffee County's doing this warning for another 5 minutes. That's what we're keeping our eyes on this here. Let me go ahead and go over. We did this earlier since this isn't something that's a huge threat right now in our area. Let me go ahead and get our modeling back up so we can kind of give you guys an idea of timing for today. The latest run of HRRR. Hopefully it's doing a better job than it was earlier. So bear with me. So let's see here. So we'll start it off at 7 a.m. and go from there, I think. As you guys are watching, maybe on Twitter/X or Facebook or YouTube or Twitch there. Again, let me go ahead and get this on here. Let's go ahead and take off current temperatures. I'll leave the current warnings up though. So we'll progress this. That's 8 a.m., 9 a.m. It's a little maybe behind in a way, but it kind of depends on where you are with the storm. This gives you a general idea of what could happen in a forecast model. Okay, 10 a.m., 11 a.m., noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I know you're watching Bradford County, not seeing too much so far. Okay, so that would get you again to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. And you see that maybe quicker progressing there across North Central Florida at 8 o'clock or so. Well, that's when you could have some maybe acts in there that kind of start to disrupt that Bradford County fair. So keep that in mind here as you're looking. So a lot of that be okay there, but maybe later on not so much. But let's go ahead and progress that through the rest of the area. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, your simulated radar, of course. I mean, let's get you out there. 11 o'clock, midnight. So I know we're having those times change here. The clocks move forward an hour here tonight, so you lose an hour of sleep. So keep that in mind. But the sun will be going down an hour later tomorrow night. So that'll help if you want some more daylight in the evening hours. But again, tracking that tornado warning, I don't think we'll be tracking it for too much longer, to be quite honest. But let's go ahead and get on in here. I know it's set to expire in 2 minutes. So there's no reason they would extend that here at this point. And that's a thunderstorm warning for that area. Most of that wind energy seems to be off in Jeff Davis County, but still be careful in Coffee County. I'll probably cut out here in terms of coverage in just a second. And I'll drop the coverage, what I'm trying to say, here in a second. But technically, a warning will still be in place for severe thunderstorm activity at 8:15 for parts of Coffee County. You have a lot of strong thunderstorms in these flash flood warnings. A lot of lightning around Moultrie, so let's keep an eye on that a little bit. That's sometimes a little bit of an indicator, maybe a little bit more intensity there than what we think. Reflectivity does, and velocity does, so a little bit of wind enhancement there, so that could be something to watch. I know that was kind of off a little, though. If this stuff didn't get down to the surface, I mean, lightning can, of course. Remember whenever thunder roars, go indoors, but when you have that lightning, that can get down to the surface, and then maybe the strongest winds don't get down to the surface still. So keep that in mind. We haven't had that much lightning lately, so that can still be dangerous, can cause injuries and or be deadly. So just keep that in mind here this morning. as we continue to give you guys the very latest. We're trying to give you guys the very latest here to protect you, your friends, and your families. So just going through all our different tools here in the toolkit. Again, we'll watch that there on Moultrie. That's, of course, in parts of Colquitt County. Let's go back down to the south for a minute. Again, you see some lightning here in southwest Georgia. Not much in the velocity there. I mean, as you kind of look, they don't look all that impressive. Again, that's not all that impressive on Moultrie velocity, but it stands out a little bit. So we have to just kind of watch here, since that is a little bit on the southern flank too. Okay, so that tornado warning at 8 o'clock, it looks like it went away. So the thunderstorm warning still remain in effect, but don't think we need to stick with that one. We had all these flash flood warnings this morning. I know most of these here during the night, but not too many people on the roads, but the people that were out might have had more of a problem because quite a bit darker, of course. Just remember that mantra there from the Weather Service: turn around, don't drown, in these type of situations. I know it can kind of sound maybe blunt, but it's important to keep in mind. The new SPC outlook here just came out. There, thank you, go. Let me make sure this is updated. Yeah, okay, just updating the computer on this mode is what updated my other computer, so I'll make sure this is the current one, and it is. Tornado risk there in that yellow area. Hail risk is green to lesser. Wind risk is again that slight risk of further down there to 2 out of 5 into Bradford County later. So we'll be tracking it all for you here. Again, the tornado risk, that's where it concentrates there. Wind risk a little bit further down with that 15% type probability. So that's enough for maybe some type of watch when you get that type of probability. I mean, we can get watches without that, and we can have warnings without watches. I mean, it's not all, it doesn't work perfectly here, but I mean, you can get just the different things that kind of pop up here. I mean, you can get watches with lower probabilities when things kind of really get going here in a hurry. So again, we'll watch things here. I'll be back if necessary and as necessary here through the day in the Weather Center. Let me see if there's any questions or comments here. Let me point your attention real quick. We got a little bit of something here. And it just faded actually. Irwin to Berrien, and it was a little bit stronger the last scan, so that's good. It faded some. Let me just see here. The accident on Moultrie, we'll watch it. It doesn't look really impressive, but it's definitely a nasty thunderstorm. That's something just to keep an eye on in and of itself here this morning. So we'll continue to watch everything here in that regard. Let me go back to the broad view here. Yeah, the tornado watch is in play till 2 o'clock. So we're going to just keep on tracking things here. Keep on watching things here in the Weather Center to protect you, your friends, and your family. Again, you can watch coverage here as needed on Facebook, Twitter, /X, of course. That's the other name for it, YouTube, and then Twitch. But then also we're just posting stuff about warnings, the watches, Facebook, and Twitter, the places to go. Twitter /X. So, again, that's going to do it for now. We'll wrap it. I think that's covered everything we need to for the time being. I'll just go ahead and check one more source here. Make sure we have covered everything. I think we have. But we'll be back here as needed through the day here from the Weather Center. Stay tuned and stay safe.